In May 2024, Google put a box at the top of its search results. Inside the box is an answer written by AI, assembled out of others' websites. 2 years later, Google is sending about a third less traffic to the rest of the internet. Roughly 2 out of every 3 searches now finish without anyone clicking a link. Websites are closing because of that box. Mostly small ones run by 1 or 2 people who knew a single subject very well. Meanwhile, Google and the AI companies are paying enormous amounts of money for written work right now, just not to them. So here is how the deal worked. Google runs a software called a crawler. The crawler visits your website and reads your pages. It copies what it finds into Google's index. Later, when somebody searches for something, Google shows a list of links, and one of those links can point at your page. That was the entire deal. You let Google copy your writing. Google sent you readers. Those readers were the money. A blogger earned from the adverts on the page or from a commission when a reader bought a product. No visitor meant no advertisement and no commission. Nothing mattered more than that one number. And Google was not doing anyone a favor here. The deal paid Google too. Every page the crawler copied made Google's results better. Better results brought more people to Google. More people sold more advertisements. Google built one of the largest companies on earth on top of writing it never paid for. And almost nobody objected because the readers came back the other way. No one ever signed this deal. There was no contract and no negotiation. But it built almost everything you have ever read online. It is the reason a person with no degree, no editor, and no employer could write about air purifiers or hiking trails and make a living from it. Google calls the box AI Overviews. Here's what it changed. The crawler still visits your website. Google still copies your writing. But now, Google summarizes that writing and prints the answer on its page. The reader gets exactly what they came for. The reader has no reason to click. So Google kept its half of the deal and cancelled yours. Some companies did fight back, and the ones with money fought hardest of all. Chegg, an education company, took Google to court and said its traffic from non-subscribers had fallen by about half. Penske Media, which publishes Rolling Stone, Variety, and Billboard, filed its own case against Google. Those are companies with lawyers. Almost no blog has a lawyer. The average hides how bad this gets for one side. So look at the real ones. Number 1. Digital Trends, a technology news site running since 2006. In March 2024, Google sent it about 8.5 million visits a month. By January 2026, Google sent it 260,000. That is a fall of 97% in under 2 years. And it did not recover in a single month of that period. Number 2, the Planet D. It lost half of its Google traffic in the months after AI Overviews launched. Dave and Deb cut staff to try to survive. Traffic then fell another 90% and they closed the site. Number 3, HouseFresh, run by Giselle Navarro and her husband Danny Ashton. They buy air purifiers with their own money, test them properly, and publish honest reviews. Google used to send them about 4,000 visitors every single day. That fell to roughly 200. Navarro described it to the news agency AFP. HouseFresh had been ranking first for these products because they were among the very few people who had actually bought one and tested it. Then the site stopped appearing at all. Almost nobody recovers from this. Most of the websites Google pushed down never came back, and the few that did came back smaller. None of this landed evenly. Over 2 years, the largest publishers lost about 22% of their search traffic. The smallest lost 60%. The smaller you are, the more of you disappeared. That is not because small websites wrote worse. It is about what each one had left when search stopped working. Rolling Stone has an app. It has a newsletter with 1 million names on it. It has a title people type straight into the address bar. When Google stopped sending readers, Rolling Stone still has 4 other ways to reach you. The Planet D had a Google ranking. That was the whole plan. And for 20 years, it was allowed to be. Because for 20 years, it worked. One analyst tracked 100 blogs that had all been real success stories. Between 2022 and 2026, the median blog in that group lost 85% of its Google traffic. The money did not vanish when the readers did. It moved. News Corp owns the Wall Street Journal, the New York Post, and a long list of papers. It is reportedly paid around $50 million a year so that AI companies can use that writing. Reddit is paid more than that. Those payments go to a very short list of names. This market runs on leverage, and leverage means scale, a legal department, and a believable threat to shut the door. Giselle Navarro has none of those things. Her reviews are inside the model, and there is no payment and there is nobody to call. She could block the crawlers. One line in a text file does it. But blocking does not pay her, and it does not bring readers back because the readers stopped arriving through search results anyway. That is what no leverage actually looks like. It does not mean losing the negotiation. It means never being invited into one. This should worry the companies doing the paying. Stack Overflow was started in 2008 by two programmers, Joel Spolsky and Jeff Atwood. The idea behind it was simple. If one person solves a difficult problem, everybody who hits that same problem later should be able to find the answer. So for 15 years, programmers went there and asked each other questions. At its peak, the site received about 200,000 questions a month. By early 2026, it was receiving roughly 300. Yes, you read that right. 300. Ask an AI a hard programming question today, and the answer is usually good. It is good because a million strangers answered each other in public for free for 15 years, where the crawler could read all of it. That archive is the reason the tool works, and the tool removed the reason to keep building it. Those programmers still exist. They hit the same problems at 2 in the morning. They ask a machine now in private, and the answer disappears when they close the window. Something is filling the space they left. Roughly half of the new articles published online are now written by machines. About a third of all websites created since 2022 arrived the same way. Cloudflare protects a large share of the world's website, so it can watch this happen. In June 2026, its chief executive, Matthew Prince, reported that automated software now makes more requests to the web than people do. The audience the web was built for is now the smaller half of it. Nobody announced any of this. There was no vote. A deal that turned ordinary people into writers has been replaced by one that does not need them. It only needs what they already wrote, and they already wrote it. Dave and Deb are not coming back. The Planet D still loads, with 18 years of travel writing sitting on it, and Google's crawler still reads every page of it. Nobody is paying them for that. So when the last of them stops writing and the machine reaches for an answer that nobody wrote down, who is left to notice?